What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Canelo Alvarez, Billy Joe Saunders. This is the official fight study and fight prediction. We have Canelo Alvarez, record in Bayou, nationality Mexican, age 30, 5'9", reach 70 and a half inches, total fights 58 with a record of 55, 1 loss, 2 draws with 37 KOs. Then you have Mr. Billy Joe Saunders, record in bio, nationality British, age 31, height 5'11", 71-inch reach, total fights 30, and he's 30-0 with 14 KOs. Okay, so as we look, height 2 inches, which could be a difference or not. That means that he can see things coming over Canelo, because Canelo tends to dip, slip, get around those punches, up under those punches, right? Reach won't really matter at all because it's half an inch, right? So that won't matter. But what does matter is the footwork. If we were going to rate footwork, you would definitely have to give it to Billy Joe. And then since the ring was big, because they bickered about the ring size, I think that's advantage for Billy Joe. Now, if you're talking about speed, okay, I don't think that really makes a difference as far as hand speed. Okay, so there's different speeds. See, Billy Joe Saunders has quick feet, so he's able to get out of the way. He's able to to dodge, to dart back and forth. Okay, and we've seen him do that numerous times. We've seen Billy Joe on a level and what's the word? He times and he gets on a rhythm of going in and out and around. And his right foot, which is his front foot, has to be outside of Canelo to get those punches off, especially that straight left. Now, we know that southpaws are problems for Canelo Alvarez. That's why I'm so excited about this fight, because everyone's saying Canelo gets better in each and every fight. But we will see, because with the Lara fight, I didn't see that. I seen a frustrated Canelo. I seen a Canelo miss a lot. I seen a Canelo that had to work the body to up his work rate, because he couldn't land those counter punches to the rights and the lefts and all those good things that he used to do, like he did with Angulo, or he did even with Trout or Cotto, those things like that. But Canelo Alvarez, I think if we have to give a beard, it has to go to Canelo. Okay, his resilience. Okay, I think his durability will be a huge factor, especially if Billy Joe starts landing. Okay, this won't be an easy fight. And if it is an easy fight for Canelo, I will be very surprised. Very, very surprised. Okay, now Billy Joe, he always rises to the occasion. And I think he made Canelo a bit angry yesterday. But fair play, when Canelo gets mad, though, it hasn't been proven that it will throw him off his game plan. Why? Abel Sanchez pissed off Canelo Alvarez, if you guys can remember, and he was heated. You could tell he was mad. He still had that poker face, but you could tell those eyes were beaten. He was blinking real quick, and you know what I mean? His face got a redder, like his hair. So, but what happened in the second fight? He came in there and he was countering Golovkin all night, and they had one hell of a fight. Okay, so I don't think that was a problem. I think if anything, you piss off the El Cinnamon will get madder and start, doing things that he normally wouldn't do. Now, we have seen Canelo frustrated in the ring, though. Okay, that's outside the ring. We've seen Floyd Mayweather do it. We've seen Lara do it. Okay, and he starts doing antics. He hit Floyd in the balls. You guys can remember that. He shoulder bumped Floyd, and then he started bickering. I never seen Canelo like that. With Lara, he reached him up like he wanted to, suplex the guy. So, it's a lot of things that could happen in there, especially with Billy Joe starts landing. And I think Billy Joe, if he does get in the rhythm of fighting and landing on Canelo, and Canelo can't do that in return, Canelo might return to those same antics. Okay, it might be a situation where Canelo starts doing those type of things that you've seen him do in Lara and the Mayweather fight. So we will see about that. But but as far as hand speed, I don't see that's a big difference, and then Canelo, I think he is a good timer. Okay. So I think he will be really focused on landing that right hand, and then if he gets close or if he gets Billy Joe on the ropes, he would be more inclined to go to that body like he did Lara. Okay. Because that's how he was able to rack up points and make the fight, competitive when he was going to the body on Lara. So I think you're going to look for a lot of that, the left hook, the right hand. And I think the right hand upstairs and the right hand to the body will play a huge factor in this fight. Which Billy Joe, I think he will stick and pot shot from certain angles. But the thing is, he does more than someone like Lara. Billy Joe, what he will do if he gets in a rhythm, he knows how to turn it up. Billy Joe will come at you and fight and throw punches and combinations. That could be a good thing or a bad thing for Billy Joe, okay? Because Billy Joe knows how to turn it on, but he's subtle and he does it subtle. So you don't know if it's coming because he could bop, 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 bop. Then all of a sudden, bop, 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 and he'll turn it on you. And then you're like, okay, where did these 5 punches come from? Because he broke his own rhythm, okay? So Canelo has to really be careful about Billy Joe doing those type of things, because when you throw 5 or 6 punches and you land 3 out of 5, okay, and you put that stank and that accent on one of those punches, right? That will give the judges, and will raise an eyebrow or two on a judge or two, right? Not saying it could be on 3. All right. The betting odds in this I want to bring up. The best odds ever for anybody to win is Canelo on points. I can't make this up. That's exactly what it says. Canelo on points. And that's exactly what it says. And I think it's like a plus 140 for that. So don't be surprised if I was a betting man, which I'm not, I would bet on Canelo on points. Now, see, the fight is going to be competitive with 2 fighters that won the best pound for pound, or considered the best pound for pound, Canelo Alvarez, and the undefeated Billy Joe Saunders with his slick savor and his ring IQ, okay, being, a gypsy. Now, the fight is going to be what the fight's going to be, but we must talk about politics. Speaking of Canelo on points, will this fight be a fair fight? And I don't, in a perfect world, okay, you shouldn't want to bring politics into it. But this is boxing, okay, the sport that I love, that I hate so much. You guys know. And we know that in times of close calls, Canelo always gets the call. Let me give you guys a backstory about the love-hate relationship I had with Oscar De La Hoya when he was fighting, okay? De La Hoya was a guy that was the golden boy, the golden Olympian, the guy that backed the Pumas and all that, the Burger King and the Taco Bell. He was that guy, the 10-10, 220. He had all the endorsements. He was the guy to market at the time, right? And I used to hate him. I used to hate Oscar De La Hoya. And I knew he was good. But I hated him. Why? Because he was the guy that got the nod each and every time if it was a close fight. The Icorte fight, the Pernell Whitaker fight, which was very controversial. And Pernell Whitaker scored a knockdown in that fight. These type of fights would happen with Oscar, and he would get the nod, okay, in these big, high-profile fights. I didn't start respecting him until he lost a decision, which was ironic because who thought that Trinidad actually beat Oscar De La Hoya, okay? So I started respecting Oscar when I found out he wasn't invincible on the cards. I think I feel the same way about Canelo. If Canelo can lose a decision, then we know, okay, he is not protected like he's supposed to. And at that point, you should give him respect because he doesn't have that protection, okay, that protection plan. So, that's how I feel about the politics of Canelo Alvarez. If the moment I see that it's not a rigged fight, that's when I start to respect the fight. And if he loses to Billy Joe Saunders, okay, well, on points, mind you. If it's not a knockout or a stoppage or someone gets injured or something crazy like that, I think I would respect Canelo a hell of a lot more. But I think that Billy Joe and Canelo Alvarez, they have their ways to win. If Billy Joe gets in his rhythm, he can beat Canelo Alvarez. But will he get a decision? Who the hell knows? Canelo Alvarez, could he stop Billy Joe? We've seen Billy Joe hurt before. This isn't like fighting David Lemieux, okay? This is a guy with upper body movement and good timing. Okay, so, you know, and what really convinced me of that speed versus timing is when he fought Amir Khan. Amir Khan was a lot faster than him. He took some licks. He took some blows. But we know what happened. Out like a light. So, I think this would be a very good fight. I think Canelo should win on points. Let's be real. And if he doesn't win on points, I will grow huge respect for Canelo Alvarez, and I will be very happy for Billy Joe. Stoppage, I don't think there will be a stoppage unless he hurts Billy Joe with something that he never saw, which can happen with anybody. But I think that it's safe to say Canelo will win on points. But anyway, that's my fight prediction and fight study. You guys tell me what you think about it. Leave your comments below. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace. Oh, by the way, I will have a survey, a poll. So you guys can vote on that and then check out this video.